And welcome back, everybody, to the Podcaster Nation. That's right. I said welcome back because I know you were just listening to our stuff and you loved it so much that you came back for more. Folks, that was brilliant. That was an absolutely wonderful idea. You want to know why? Because we have a lot more for you. Why do we have more for you? Because this is the podcast that is about podcasters. It's for podcasters. It's done by podcasters. And our guests today, plural, that's right. It's awesome. I have two people with me today, right? Our guests today are, wait for it, they're podcasters, amongst other things, and a lot of other things. They have a great story. They're doing a lot of really cool things that I can't wait to tell you all about. Folks, this is the place where we all come together to raise each other up, and this is the place where the rising tide truly raises all ships. So let's get sailing and introduce our guests today. Please welcome the Twins Realty team, Cherie Walters and Nicole Juarez. Cherie and Nicole, how are you guys doing today?
Blessed. Can't be better. It's Friday.
There you go. Blessed. It's Friday. Great answers. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's happy. All right. I love this. I tell you what, as we get rolling, why don't you guys, one at a time, give everybody kind of a quick intro. Who are you? What do you do? What are you about? And that type of thing. And then we'll get rolling.
Okay, my name is Cherie Walters, and I'm a mortgage lender here in Central Texas, and I have been an expert in my field and done this for 13 years, but top 1% originator in America for, gosh, I can't, for a very long time. But I help people with anything regarding finances. I can help, and so that's what I've been doing over the last decade. That's
Awesome.
her.
And that's her.
And
All right.
that's her, yeah. And my name's Nicole Juarez. I have been a real estate agent in Central Texas for 12 years. And so, top producer in this area. I love what I do, but I help people buy and sell real estate. So, amongst a line of other things, full-time mom and volleyball mom and all the things, but buying and selling people with real estate is what I do.
Absolutely fantastic. Folks who listen to this and have heard this for a while know that I have a real estate background. And so I just kind of have a warm place in my heart for folks who are in real estate because I know how tough that job is. Oh my goodness. Nothing but kudos for both of you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Power to you both. So, you guys are like top in your area. Like you said, Sheree, top 1%. You guys are doing amazing work. You've got a great thing with the Twins Realty, which is also awesome. So, before we get into the podcast part of it, because obviously that's why we're here, we talk about podcasts, but just talk about you guys a little. How did you decide, hey, you know what, we're gonna do this Twins thing. This is gonna be our marketing deal, and we're gonna work together because not everybody who is related can work together. How did you guys decide to do that?
We decided that, I mean, we probably worked hand in hand, I mean, our entire life, right? We since birth, we've been stuck together, right? So we couldn't get rid of each other. So if you can't beat them, join them. And so, we eventually caught on to the idea that every customer came to us repeatedly and said, man, it's incredible that when I talk to the mortgage person, I'm also able to talk to the real estate agent. And you guys always have the answer at the same time. You're always together. It just seems like the answers are just easier to get, because if I was working with a mortgage lender, I'd have to call this number and then I have to call the real estate agent at another time. And it was just, I think after hearing that a million times, we just said we need to capitalize on that and have everybody just know when you get one, you get the other. It's two for one, and you got the deal of the century. The deal of the century. Yeah, we're always together, so it was really easy for us to just do it more and more and more. So when she was taking a phone call, they were asking about a house over there down the street and around the corner, and so I was answering that question, and then they had a payment question, and so there came Cherie. So it just seemed meant to be.
I love that. And for folks who don't know how real estate works, I mean, the realtor and the loan officer are like the two biggest keys in the process, right? So, it's got to work really cool with you guys being in tandem, one another. If one of you can't answer a question, the other one can. Am I right?
Literally, we're we're just passing the phone back and forth, and typically we will put our customers in a group message from the very beginning and say, You're going to have access to both of us at any time. You can send us a text message, and when one person doesn't know the answer, the other twin will jump in and be able to answer the question for you. So that's kind of the advantage of having a twin team.
Nice. Nice. Now, how long have you been doing the twin part of what you're doing?
I would say probably the last 2 to 3 years is really when we've kind of started to make it a thing. And within the last 12 months, we developed the Twin Realty Tween team. So that's 12 months is the answer I guess you're looking for is within the last 12 months we came up with the team and made it a thing.
That's good. And you're still speaking, which is good.
I'm still speaking. Oh, to each other.
To each
Oh,
other.
my, yes, we are. We are. We have to work on that. Sometimes we put each other in timeout, but it's not very long because our customers get us back together. And so, yes, so it is. It is. It's fun though, and I think that our customers get to feel that, and know that we really, because we are sisters, because we are twins, and we get to have fun with it, and so they get to see one side. Nicole is usually the fun twin. I've tagged her the fun twin, and I kind of just let them know she's the fun twin, and I'm the black and white, and that's why I do mortgages. So I'm the no fun twin. Ironically, she's wearing black and white today. Um, black and white, she gets to talk all the numbers and payments, and those are usually no fun, be tough conversations. And I get to talk really not a whole lot of talking. We do a lot of looking. So we look at houses and we go through that process, but I get to have the fun part of it. And we have, difficult conversations from time to time regarding home inspections and things like that. But we have a good time with what we do.
Excellent. Now, do you guys have any team members besides the two of you, or are you guys doing everything?
We right now we have team members and such as I have assistants and Nicole has a transaction coordinator. So we have people in ace. I say aces in places, and I think that you definitely need a team. But as far as other real estate agents and loan officers underneath us, we don't have that at this time.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Let me ask you this because I've been in both your chairs.
Oh,
And
okay.
I got to tell you, Nicole, I really liked your chair a whole lot better when I was in it. I loved the real estate part of it. I went to the mortgage part of it because I thought I'd make a little more money and it'd be a little more stable. And I just, wow, it just wasn't a good fit for me. But I'm dying to know, but because I mean, you're your sisters, and I know how different the jobs are. I think people think, oh, well, it's all the same thing. It's not. I'm curious, what do you both think, is like the thing you like the most about your part of what you do in this team?
Well, we both say she could never do my job and I could never do her job. It's very apparent. I enjoy that I'm able to meet with people and really hear what they're looking for and able to deliver that. A lot of people say, "Well, I worked with this agent." I mean, I don't know how many times I've heard someone say. They told me I couldn't buy a house. I worked with them for years and I still haven't been able to. And I seen it, 30 homes and blah, blah, blah. But my goal, I just love to hear what they're looking for and being able to deliver that and a process with it. There is a plan and a process, and I don't have to show them a million homes. I just take pride in really being able to deliver, listening and enjoying that part of it. She
Love
does a
that.
good job with that. I get to see her and I'm I work with as a loan officer, I don't just work with Nicole, obviously, but I work with several other real estate agents and I've heard the story many times, I've seen real estate agents show countless homes and I'm like, why are you doing this? Like you listen to your customer and you go deliver, here are these 5 homes that fit your need. And Nicole really has it down to a science. I feel like she knows what she's doing. So I know that if she's talking to a customer, they're going to experience home ownership. It is going to happen, and they're not going to be homeless. They're going to have a home, and I love that. But that's my part on her. But for their dream home. Oh yeah, their dream. Of course, their dream home. Because a lot of times it's like, oh well, you just open the door, but that's just not the farthest from the truth. If a real estate agent tells you they're just opening a door, oh my goodness, how sad. That is not what's
Right?
happening. That is not what's happening. You're opening the door to so many other things, and there's so many better ways to describe what you're doing when you're opening a door. Okay, so anyways, my part, I love the fact that is very black and white. You have guidelines, you have information that you have to know as a loan officer and it's not it's 2 plus 2 is 4. And if it's not, there's not like it can be this or it can be that. No, it is that. And I get to argue that with an underwriter and I get to say, look, this is the guideline. If you're telling me no, why? The guideline says we can do it. Let's go. And I don't want to hear, well, I think I would feel better if I don't care what you feel better about.
That's a feel good.
Yeah, it's a feel
What do you call that? A feel good.
condition. We call that a feel good condition. And I don't do good with feel good conditions because my customer is looking at houses with my sister and she's put them under contract and they're expecting to close on their dream home in 21 days. And
100%.
I got to get them to that table. Otherwise, I'm going to be in big trouble with twin. And so I don't she don't cut me no slack. And so I got to argue with whoever I got to argue with. But the point of that is just knowing the information that's out there and saying these are the expectations of a VA loan, of FHA loan, a USDA, conventional, whatever your product is. If you know the information, you educate yourself on those products, then an underwriter shouldn't be able to tell you you can't do that loan. So that's what I like about my job is that it is a clear answer or it's not. Like it's either yes or it's no. And I get to, say yes more than no. And that's what I like about that.
And that's what I like about her doing her job.
It
Right?
sounds like you guys both really advocate for your clients like crazy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we don't win unless they win. So that's really how we look at it. If they win, we win, vice versa. And we have a huge heart for serving other people and seeing them get to the finish line. So, of course, money, like she says, is always a byproduct, but we almost don't care because we love what we do so much that it's important that they get the home that they are looking for, that they feel like, I didn't think I could do it, but I did it. And they helped us get there. And so we accredit that to really God putting us in this place. I do. I mean, I'm sure she does too. I do too. Just so thankful that God gave us the opportunity and the ability and the skills to be here to help other people.
Nice. Yeah, she did just kind of throw you under the bus there, Cherie.
I know. I'm like, what the heck? For sure, for sure.
Her heart is definitely there.
Okay.
That's right.
No,
Hey,
like
if there's any doubt about the faith of these two ladies, just go check them out over on Wake Up the Lions, folks. I mean, I'm telling you right now, absolutely no doubt whatsoever. I love everything that you guys are talking about right now. I have a real estate question, if that's okay. I know that back in the day, there was some confusion about it, and I've heard from some friends of mine that are in the business still that there are still people that are trying to go out and walk around with just pre-qualifications, not pre-approvals because there's all this internet stuff where, oh, if I just tap in all this stuff on the internet, then hey, it shows me I can afford a $500,000 house, so I'm good to go. And that's really, and I can see you gritting your teeth right now.
both of us, because I just, most of my clients that are, any of my clients that I'm working with, they're not just my clients, they're our clients. But it's important to me because I'm showing you homes that I want to know that we're just not walking through a door, that you're able to purchase if you love it. And so I want to make sure that all those I's are dotted and T's are crossed, and you getting a home loan from Home Depot does not make me feel
Homes to
comfortable.
go,
Homes to go,
loans to go, and all
ready,
the,
set, go, loans.
yes, it's not worth it's not worth a lot, I would say, when I don't even want to say somebody, a automated computer generated system tells you you're pre-approved because you're putting in a lot of times they're putting in their own information and they don't understand the guidelines that we are required to know in order to get you to the closing table. So when you say, yeah, I make $100,000 a year, and yep, I sure do, and then we say, let me see those pay stubs to validate that $100,000. Oh, well, I'm self-employed, or oh, that's with commission, and then last year I didn't make that commission, and this year it's not looking probable, and it's I'm hoping to get that raise that will get me to that 100,000, and it's all these different things that you have to know matter. It's not I mean, when you're loaning out hundreds of thousands of dollars as a bank to to an individual, you want to make sure that you're going to get your repayment back. So there are very specific requirements that not only the government put in place, but the banking institution has their own set of guidelines because they want to get their money back. And so we got to make sure that we've crossed every I and dotted every I and crossed every T. We got to make sure we've done that. And if we don't do that, you will be unfortunately very sad because you will have envisioned yourself in a home that you may not be able to be in at the end of the day. And so that's why Nicole puts a lot of emphasis on, yeah, on making sure the buyer's qualified to purchase the home. And it's not just it's because I've built obviously have a relationship. Not just because we're twins or sisters or anything like that, but because she's built uh a database of people that have been able to purchase a home, and not just, well, it took me 6 months, she did this, she didn't know, they purchased a home. And so with a seamless process, and so I think that that's really the important part of it, is that we are able to deliver something that is, we like for it to be seamless. We want them to have a good experience. And so yes, qualified buyers, we want, not just for us but for them. They don't want to walk through a home in love and then find out, never mind, they can't buy it. We're setting them up for success as well.
Right.
So
Right. I love that focus. Because at the end, it really is all about the client, and it's all
mhm.
about, the home buyer in this entire
Right.
process. And you guys absolutely operate that way. I mean, from the very beginning of your process here.
Yeah, I think a lot of people I've talked to some individuals where they feel it's invasive. They don't want to answer the questions as to, well, where do you work and how long you worked there. They just want you to open the door. But our focus is not just opening the door, it's making sure that you have the steps to get you to where you're trying to go. And if we can't answer those questions in the beginning, then who knows where we'll be. So I think the process has been blurred a little bit with agents that just open doors. And I would like to put more of a focus on helping the client get to where they're trying to go, and understanding, hey, we're asking these questions in order to get you to the goal line, the home.
Yeah.
So.
Sure, you look like you're biting your tongue. Got anything you want to add over
Well, I
there?
mean, we're very goal oriented, people, and you tell us what your goal is, and we're going to get you there. And if we didn't, we failed, and that's kind of how we look at it. And so we want that individual to understand that it's not. We want to know if we're going to get a paycheck. We want to know if we're going to deliver on your expectation of buying a home. And if we can't do that, we need to know why are you able to, or why are you not? And if you're not, if you have the process in place, then you're not afraid to say, yeah, I've been pre-approved with XYZ mortgage company. Okay, great. Let's talk about that a little bit more. And then we go into why XYZ mortgage company is or isn't a good fit, because I'm not the only,
You're not.
despite Nicole's belief, I'm not the only not only there's great lenders out there, right? And so we can use those individuals too. Nicole will work with them, of course, but we need to know the questions we need to make sure that you've been asked the right questions, so that you can not only see, but you can actually, at the end of this process, you are in a home. And so it just, kind of maybe uncomfortable for a little bit, but you'll get there. And we try to make it not uncomfortable. We try to make it as if, so they understand why we're doing it. Because if you understand the why, then you don't feel attacked, or you don't feel like, oh, she's just working for her paycheck. It's not about the paycheck. It's about you at the end of the day. So if you explain that correctly as an agent or a mortgage lender, typically people are grateful that you've asked the right questions, and that you have aces in places, and that you're able to set them up for success, and not you can get to the closing table in a jalopy, or you can get to the closing table in a Ferrari. Which one do you want to do? We're the Ferrari. Let's go.
Here we are.
Boom. There, I mean, mic drop on that one. That was beautiful. I mean, oh, you guys are great. I love your vibe. Just the two of you together. My youngest son just actually bought a house and just closed on it last week. Not in your area, or he would have worked with you. I promise. Yeah. But yeah, first thing I told him when he started the process was go get pre-approved, not pre-qualified, pre-approved,
Yes.
and get him everything they need so that you know exactly where you are. And he has said that was the best thing he could have possibly done.
It
because then
is.
he knew
It does set
exactly what
you.
he was
Yeah.
looking at. Yeah, and it really helped him. And then when they had to negotiate, he's like, okay, well, I know if I go this high, then this is what I'm dealing with. He had all the
Mhm.
information he needed because he had done all the work. And it really put him in a good position. So you guys are really empowering people also to, go out there and have the best experience they can have.
Thank you. That's what we want to do. We want to help
Wow.
people, empower them. Hmm.
Incredibly cool. Incredibly cool. I love, I mean, I could talk about real estate all day, but that's not the show. So right now everybody's like, hey, this isn't a real estate show. Or what are you
Forgot.
doing?
We forgot.
So no, it's on me. But yeah, and I love what you're doing. I mean, having folks as accomplished as the two of you on here is really, really huge. So I appreciate you guys coming on. I love the fact that you guys have started a podcast that you're getting ready to launch, that you're really putting, all this work into. You've got like 10 episodes ready to go. Tell everybody, a little bit about the podcast. The name of it is the Twin Cast, which is cool. All right. So, what is the Twin Cast about? What's it for? Maybe an idea of when we can expect to see it. I don't know any of those things.
Well, the twin cast is in regards to real estate. We're talking about real estate, all the things real estate. So whether you're buying, selling, and then of course mortgages. So we're giving really people insight on what we do on a day-to-day basis. There might be some spots in there in regards to our everyday life, but a lot of it's going to be focused on what we're doing every single day, and that's negotiating contracts and selling real estate and getting a good mortgage and finding out payments and just the know-how of real estate.
Yeah, we want the anybody that's listening to understand real estate, whether you're wanting to know what the market values are looking like, interest rates are looking like, what negotiating power you have. If you're selling your house, what tips and tricks and things like that that you can capitalize on right now. It's real-time advice so that you can be successful in real estate. Whether, like I said, if you're a real estate agent, if you're a builder, if you're a consumer, all areas we want to cover in that podcast because we have a wealth of information that we're not part-time. We do this on an everyday basis, so we're talking to people all the time. And because it's a twin cast, you get to capitalize on two different people in two different areas of the arena. So I'm telling you, as far as a mortgage lender, what to expect as far as interest rates and things like that. And Nicole's able to tell you the real estate aspect of it. And so it is a lot of information that we think that people need to get if you're buying, if you're selling, if you're thinking of a
If you want to
cousin.
be an agent, if you, I mean, all the things, because we have experience in all of that. So, I was telling her daughter the other day, you get to, instead of it taking 10 years to get where we're at, it could take you two. Use the information, use your resources. And so I think that this twin cast will help people understand different aspects and just give them more knowledge in that area.
Nice, nice. So you're doing episodes that are what we call solo episodes in the podcasting world, which means, the two of you. It's
Mhm.
not solo because there's two of you, but it's co-hosts. So where it's just hosts, no
Closest we can
guest.
get since we're twins.
Exactly. That's as solo as it's going to be. So you do those episodes, and then you also bring on guests and you talk to them. And so the guests are all real estate related, is what it sounds like. And I think you told me you had like an appraiser coming
Yeah.
up. And what were some of the other ones?
A builder. We had a home
Builder.
builder. Yes. And I think the appraiser, it's very picky, choosy. We are kind of very choosy on the guests that we have because we want them to also be an expert in their field. The appraiser has been doing this, so ready for this, since 87,
Oh my
1987.
gosh.
I
Okay.
mean, that's not that old.
Wait. Did I say 87? No, yeah, he's 80,
Well, I'm only
1987.
saying that
I was
because
like, wait a minute. No, he's
the reason I say that is because she was born in 84. So if we say it that way.
okay. Yes, but
But yes, 40 something years.
yeah, he's been an appraiser and he's been an appraiser in this area for a long time, but he's able to tell us what the market what it's been doing, what it's doing right now. And it's not it's current information, but also he's able to tell you what he has seen over the years, and that matters. And so the information that we get from those experts are important to everybody listening. And so it, expect to see experts in their field on our show.
I see. So what I'm hearing from you is that 47's old.
Yeah, that's what she
Thanks a
said.
lot. Appreciate it. I
I
really do.
know, I didn't
All
like
right.
it. That's
And
what
that's
you
the end of
said.
the
That's
episode, folks. It's been great talking to these ladies, but no, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Ruined it. Click.
there you go.
I'm totally kidding. No, I love
Mhm.
that because you guys are experts in your field. You're bringing on other experts to talk
Yeah.
about this stuff. So that's absolutely fantastic. The other thing is that through these guests, you're able to kind of, again, point out all these other, smaller niche pieces of the process because the appraiser is a big part of the process,
Mhm.
right? And, so is a builder if you want to build a home as opposed to buying an existing one. So you're helping to answer questions for folks and they can just listen to it from the comfort of their own home or in the car or whatever it is and get that information. I think it's fantastic you're putting the information out like that.
We
I
got to.
mean,
We got to get it out. And I feel like our episodes are going to be, a shorter time frame because we want people to be able to listen to them while they're on their way to work, when they're getting off, right? Right before they pick up the kids,
And the pickup line with the kids, that's usually about 15 minutes pickup line.
there you go.
You know,
she
some
has
experience.
she has that down to a science because you have to timing matters, and scheduling matters, and so we want to get this information out to them in I say short amount of time, but enough time for them to be able to grab a couple pieces of information and it propel them,
Power pieces.
yeah, power pieces. I like that, Nicole. Thank you.
All
I'll
right,
take
we're
it.
creating more vernacular. I like that. Power
Mhm.
pieces. All right, that's very cool. It sounds like you guys have a very cool plan for how you're going to use your podcast in conjunction with your business, and I love that part of it. The In terms of just the solo episodes that you guys do, give me some ideas of what the those episodes have looked like. Some of the a little bit of advice maybe you've given out to some folks, so when they tune in, they know what to expect.
We talked about selling and just a few tips on what a seller would need to know
Mhm.
if they were wanting to sell in the market now. What's important? Three tips we did. Do you want us to give the tips now, or you just want to?
I don't think the tips are necessary, but it's
Just an
important.
yeah, it's you're fine.
But the information is important because you want to get that information out to the people in I say again, a short amount of time, but we want them to want to know I can tune into the Twin Cast and get valuable information about real estate right now. And we have phone calls all day long, and that's what sparked the podcast. This particular topic is because we had gotten several phone calls about, well, I want to list my house, but I'm not sure what to do right now. How do I make the most money right now? What do I need to do? That question
We know
kept.
it's not a seller's market, so what do we do right now to sell? So that's why.
So the information, of course, it will be relevant. And then Nicole was able to say, okay, let's do a podcast. Let me give them three things right now that they need to do. And she gave her three things. And then I had three tips that I needed to give as well. I think I was talking about interest rates because I had gotten several phone calls about I want to negotiate, for what I think it was interest rates or closing costs. Regardless, relevant information, help your buyers, help your listeners save money in real estate. That's what we were trying to do at that particular podcast.
Nice. Nice. Now, it hasn't come out yet. I know. So we're building up to when this is going to come out. Do you have kind of a plan for how you're going to promote it? Because I know a lot of podcasters are sitting here going, well, how do you promote a podcast that's based totally on your business?
You know what we've learned today? We need to get an expert to
You
make
got to
sure.
get an expert. You have to make sure you have an expert in the field.
Yes. So we will be getting an expert, the person that has had a Rory. We will be asking you for how you will do that because I think as we're new at this in podcasting, but we have information that we want to get out, but we are not an expert in that field. We are not
Yeah.
an expert there, and I think you need to find the resource that would be able to tell us and direct us in that aspect. So. We'll be making a few phone calls to get that plan in
To
motion.
the ACE.
Yeah, ACE. We need an
Oh,
ACE in
right
that one.
on. I love that. All right, very cool. Very cool. All right, cool. Now, when you do the podcast itself, all right, one of the questions I like to ask everybody on the show is when you're doing your podcast, what is it about doing the podcast that you love the most? And what is it about doing your podcast that you just absolutely, positively can't stand, throw it out the window, hate the most?
It's a double-edged sword because you want to deliver the information, but being put on the spot is a little daunting.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Is it was, I don't know.
And
I
your
feel like
twins, who
maybe
who
every
who would have figured that? Yeah.
I know. I'm like, is that everybody's answer? But the information is the best, right? Like, okay, now we have the best information we want to give everybody, but getting that information, being in front of someone, and obviously when you're in a podcast, you don't have to you visually see, you're just hearing them, but are you able to articulate the information in a clear, precise manner so that your audience is getting the information? Did you deliver the information? So there's pressure there that we want to make sure that we're giving the right information at the right time. And so that's a little scary that we're doing it right, you know?
Okay. So that's the part that you both don't care for the most.
Yes.
Yeah. What is it about doing it that you love the most?
Yeah, just the
Go ahead.
I love the part of the
That
just
you know the information.
yeah.
We know the information, so that part is it's almost easy to speak on. Um, it's double-edged because you say you're scared to do it, but you love that you're able to that you have the wealth of information and that you know that it's going to help someone get somewhere at some point. So whether it's 6 months they decide they want to buy a house, or today they listen to that message and are like the podcast and say, oh, I didn't know that, but I am going to apply it. I'm looking for a house next week. So that's important. That's what I love about it.
The information giving. We love the information giving. That's what we do. Love.
Nice. Nice. Those are great answers. There you go. See, I knew I could get those answers out of you guys. That's beautiful. And
Were you concerned? Well, there's the expert right there. You drug it out of us.
I
Okay.
mean, you kicking and screaming. I was like, come on, tell me what you love the most. Let's go. Oh, you guys are great. No, okay. As we kind of bring this to a close, because I know you guys have to get back to work selling houses, but
Exactly.
the exactly what region do you guys service? Because I know it's not small. I mean, you guys serve a pretty large area, right?
Central Texas, which is a big, I feel like a big deal. You know, depending, irrelevant, whoever you're talking to. California would think little Central Texas, but we live close to one of the largest military bases in the nation. Is about 30 minutes from here, Fort Hood or Fort Cavazos, depending on yeah, who you're talking with. But so we serve a lot of military customers, but Central Texas is our service area. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And how do people reach you folks if, they're in that area and they want to find out more, or maybe they're not in that area and they still want to just, find out a bit about real estate and stuff.
They can go to our website. It's gottwinsrealty.net.
Perfect. Perfect. Best way, just go to the website. It's got everything
Just
there.
go to the website. You can call us, phone number 254-295-3582. Just call me. And then if you want to talk to her, then you just call me and I'll pass the phone.
So true.
Awesome,
So,
awesome, awesome. All right, perfect. We'll make sure that stuff is in show notes. I got to get that from you. Don't let me forget to get all that information from you when we're
mhm.
done. So that's wonderful. So, all right, as we kind of fade out here, last question, because even though you haven't launched yet, you guys you've been through it. I mean, this has been a process, and you guys have learned some things, right? So, what's a piece of advice you can give to podcasters who are starting out? Maybe a pitfall or a hiccup that you guys had, maybe something that didn't go like you expected. What kind of advice do you have for other podcasters out there who aren't where you are in starting just yet?
I think the biggest part is getting someone that is experienced, do the interview process. We tell that to our clients all the time. Interview the agent, interview the mortgage lender, interview them, ask them the difficult questions, and I find out what their experience is. I know as far as a real estate agent interviewing an agent, I tell my clients well, they may have been in real estate for 5 years, but how many homes have they sold?
Hmm.
Three? I mean, that's important to know. So um, ask the difficult questions and get someone that's experienced and has a resume to prove it.
And when you say that, I think she's expressing that we don't know podcasts, but
Yeah.
you can connect with someone that does specialize in helping individuals that want to do podcasts, right? So connect with somebody that can help you launch your podcast, help get in touch with somebody that can help you do those things and save you, 6 months, 7 months of time that you kind of wasted because you didn't know what you were doing,
Sure.
So do that. I think that will help you significantly. It's just going to speed things along, that's really probably the most important is get in touch with somebody that knows what they're doing in that aspect. And
Awesome.
just do it. Oh my gosh, just do it. Like the problem is you get so nervous and I'm not sure if I have this or I have that. It doesn't matter. People they just want information. If you can provide the information, if you have the knowledge, just start talking. That's all I just start talking.
I love that. Get help and just start. I mean, that's just fantastic. It's great advice for pretty much everything that we're doing in our lives. So, all right, wonderful. Folks, you got to tune into this when it comes out, the Twin Cast with Cherie Walters and Nicole Juarez. I'm going to be promoting it when it comes out for sure. We'll definitely promote it in the group, and it'll be attached to this episode. When this comes out, we'll make sure the link to the podcast is in there. Cherie and Nicole, thank you both so much for being on the program today, for sharing what's coming up and your vision, and for giving people some really cool information about, real estate and mortgage lending that they may not know. So I appreciate you both being here. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. We appreciate you having us. Thank you so much.
You got it. Absolutely my pleasure. Folks, that's been another fantastic episode of the Podcaster Nation. The reason we have such cool podcasters like this coming on here and bringing out such great information is because this is the podcast that's about podcasters, it's for podcasters, and it's done by podcasters. Folks, we showed again today. This is truly the place where the rising tide really does raise all ships. So keep sailing.